SMX is back in the spotlight after announcing a $250 million capital commitment, a major financing development that management says extends the company's operational runway through 2028. The news has injected fresh life into the stock and ignited a wave of debate across trading and investing communities, with opinions sharply split on what this funding actually means for shareholders. On the bullish side, supporters argue that this capital infusion materially de risks SMX's near term survival and gives the company the breathing room it needs to complete its transition from a development stage tech story into a revenue generating business. Bulls see this as a potential inflection point. If SMX can begin converting its traceability and blockchain based authentication technology into recurring commercial contracts, the stock could re rate significantly. Combined with SMX's low float and elevated cost to borrow, some traders believe the setup is ripe for a short squeeze, especially if positive revenue headlines emerge. Others in the community, however, are far more cautious. Skeptics point out that a large capital commitment often comes with strings attached, and fear that the funding structure could lead to continued dilution, either directly or indirectly. Given SMX's history of reverse splits and past share issuances, bears argue that shareholders may once again be asked to absorb dilution in exchange for keeping the company afloat. There is also an ongoing debate around fundamental value. While the extended runway reduces bankruptcy risk, critics note that SMX still must prove it can scale sales, generate meaningful margins, and compete effectively in crowded traceability and blockchain markets. Until consistent revenues and customer adoption are clearly demonstrated, some investors view any rally as primarily speculative. As a result, SMX has become a classic battleground stock. Strong headline catalyst plus improved liquidity plus low float and squeeze potential versus dilution risk plus execution uncertainty plus unproven fundamentals. That clash of narratives is exactly what's driving the surge in attention and why volatility around SMX is likely to remain elevated.
Okay, so the stock is up 25.25%. Yes, it does. Effective float is over the last 50 trading session is 3.17 million, 4.91 million have crossed the tape today. Beta is 3.67, so it amplifies the broader market by 3.6, by a factor of 3.67. So if the broader market is down 1%, it will be down. Yeah, 3.67%. I mean, statistically, that's how it has been going. It doesn't mean that that would actually be what's going on. Let's see what we have. Underlying trend is severely bearish. Yeah, severely bearish, even with all the expansions that's been going on. The underlying trend is still bearish, but yeah, it may have. You never know. You may have slowed down the rate of the decline. There may be a chance that it may have. We're still declining. Yeah, it has had a couple of expansions before now. Yes, has it not? Yeah, let's see. Of late, 5th of February, but not much compared to what it was in December. Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. When it expanded all the way towards $329, it hasn't changed the underlying trend. It hasn't changed it yet, but maybe with time it might. But for now, no. People are the extrapolation is that it might happen again. Okay, it might happen again. Saying that the strength may remain in place up till when tomorrow the 11th and probably towards the 12th. As a matter of fact, it's saying that the strength might remain in place up till let's say the 18th of March. There's no guarantee that that will happen. But the 40-day moving average is also going stable, and after that is expected to begin to rise given all that has happened. Yeah, it's now feeding on it may begin to feed on what expansions that have happened in the past. Let's see now. Yes, the algos are projecting. They're still reiterating this pivotal projection of 225.58, but you can't rely on that at all. You can't rely on that. If it closes above that, then the prospects of retracing or retesting 332.63 may kick in, and at the same time, you can't rely on that as well. The fact that it did that before does not mean it's going to happen again. The Argos, yes, are also expecting momentum to spike and remain elevated up till tomorrow's the close of tomorrow's trading session. So yeah, yeah. It's but when momentum has it kicked in? Has increased somewhat. Yeah. Okay. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. Okay. So this is its daily chart. Let's have a look at its weekly chart. If there's anything there. Okay. It has extrapolations. Yeah. Okay. Here it's also saying as well that we should expect a spike. We should expect an expansion to happen, and it's saying here it's going to remain in place. This is a weekly chart, yeah, up to the 2nd of March, yeah. But you can rely on that as well. You can rely on that. Yeah. Let's see what we have in the 4 hour chart. Yeah, let's see. Equally, okay. I think on the 4 hour chart, which is more of okay, which is more of what traders might be using. We have the strength is expected to remain in place up till the close of today's trading session. Then after that, a contraction towards midday tomorrow. And then after that, is expected to pick up strength from its 40 period moving average. The moving average is expected to serve as the primary demand line, meaning that when it closes within one standard deviation of that moving average, demand might kick in. So that's what it's indicating for tomorrow. Projections here are saying 7.37, 2.45, and then negative 0.5960, 16.51, 19.72, 21.70. Okay, the momentum is expected to begin to weaken from sometime today, and may begin to might pick up again from tomorrow. Okay, let's see what the market grid is going to give us in terms of possible prices. In terms of possible prices, let's try this 4 hour chart. If it's going to give us anything. Okay, so the stock is outside of the grid. 16.9 is the price, and the extreme on the grid is 15.57. So the stock is already above the grid. Let me show you. It's already above the grid on this 4 hour chart, and that will equally be the case on its daily chart. So yes, when the price of the stock is approaching these extremes, it begins to indicate that the gains are decaying. The gains are the gains are there, but prospects of making more money is diminishing. So profit taking is what should be happening. So from this sort of level, pullbacks happen. But at the same time, high prices could still go ahead and print. You can clearly see that it has gone ahead to print. So expect a pullback to happen, to come back into the grid. But it's just pretty much basic. We want to see it within the grid to see where it lies relative to other prices. So if it pulls back, does it have any support? Let's see, 15.05. Is there any other price that is being reiterated with regard to that? No, 15.05. So it looks like you may not be able to pick up any pivot there. 16.69. Yeah, we have 14.69. Yes, it has a that will be if it does pull back, it might pick up a bounce in between 16.69 and 14.69 and 14.6. So there's a good support there. Outside that, nothing very strong. Nothing very strong. This even though this pretty much the same. What we want to see something close by. You can see 16.69 and 14.69 and 14.5% very much close. Yeah, that tells you that if it's a support, a bounce might happen there. You want the prices to be closely packed for them to serve as a reasonable support, a bounce in that case, or a resistance. Yeah, as the case may be. So we don't have what looks like any strong resistance, so the stock might begin to advance. If it advances, it may go ahead and do so. There's also another. We have another price here, 14.32. Yeah, okay, 14.32 will be just over here. So we have a robust support here, robust support around from 14.69 to 14.32. Yeah. Okay, let's just quickly have a look at the 1 hour chart, which there's a chance that the price may be within its market grid, and that way you might even see more as well. So the stock is at 16.86 now, 16.86. This is where it is in between the resistance and the supports. So it doesn't have. Let's see now. Let me not conclude any 16, any other 16, 16.72. Yeah, I think we saw that, did we? No, no, no. We didn't see that. We didn't see. Okay, here we can see there's it looks not so fantastic. 16.71. We want to see something a lot more closer to each other. 16.71 and 16.32. They're quite close, but not. But we'll take that. We'll take that. Quite close. Quite close. So some amount of support there. Resistance. Let's see. It's at 17.48. Any resistance? No. May not be a strong resistance. 18.13. Okay, let's say maybe some amount of resistance. 18.13 and 18.77 may prove to be a decent resistance. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The stock is trending. It's well known to people who watch the markets for alternative plays. It's well known. It's well known. So it's trending again, and you don't be surprised if today is not the only day it's going to show strength. Don't be surprised. It has a history of prolonged rallies. It has that history. Okay, yeah. So see what you make of SMX, and thank you very much for watching this video.